A 2013 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, and it's not just any penny. This coin, almost invisible among your quarters and dimes, could be worth over $1 million. Yes, $1 million. And the craziest part? Most people have no idea it even exists. That it all starts with a tiny mistake at the US Mint in 2013. During production, a few pennies were accidentally struck without the Denver Mint mark. Normally, every penny bears a D or an S or nothing at all. But this anomaly, this almost unnoticeable detail, created a coin that collectors today are calling the holy grail of modern pennies. Imagine that, a single, tiny cent, hiding in plain sight, suddenly turning ordinary into extraordinary. Think about it. Millions of pennies were made in 2013, but only a handful of these no mint mark versions escaped into circulation. One slip, one imperfection, one moment in time, and suddenly, something ordinary becomes legendary. That's the power of rarity. And that's why some of these coins are now worth over $1 million. If you're holding a penny, and it's from 2013, here's what to look for. First, the front, Abraham Lincoln's profile. Everything looks normal, right? But the key is the back, the Lincoln Memorial. Look closely at the area where you would normally see a D for Denver. On the rare no mint mark pennies, it's gone. Vanished. Clean. Blank. The difference is so subtle that most people pass it by without a second thought. But that tiny blank space is the golden ticket. It's not the metal. It's the story. Every coin has a history, but this one is a story of error, mystery, and chance. People spend lifetimes searching for coins like this. And sometimes, the coins find them instead. Imagine sorting through your old jars of change. A handful of pennies, a few nickels, maybe a shiny dime. And then, you spot it. That small, ordinary-looking penny that suddenly makes your heart skip a beat. Because deep down, you know this could be the one. The one that turns everything around. The one that could make you a millionaire. Collectors describe the thrill of discovery like finding a buried treasure in your own backyard. A coin like this carries more than just monetary value. It carries the story of chance, the drama of rarity, the emotional pull of history. Each time someone finds a 2013 no mint mark penny, it's a story they will tell for the rest of their life. Here's another way to identify it. The Lincoln Memorial design is exactly the same as any other penny. But the absence of the D mint mark at the bottom right, that's the secret. Hold it under bright light. Turn it, tilt it. Examine it like a detective solving the greatest case of your life. A penny that could sit in your pocket for years, unnoticed, suddenly becomes $1 million treasure. The answer is yes. The rarity, the story, the mistake, it all comes together to create something magical. And collectors know that opportunity like this doesn't come around often. The moment you see it, you feel it. It's almost spiritual. A small, humble penny becomes a symbol of possibility, of luck, of life-changing discovery. Think of the people who found these coins years ago. They didn't even know they were looking for $1 million penny. They were just going about their day, checking their pocket change, not realizing that history was quietly sitting in their hands. That's the power of the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny. That if you want to know for sure, look carefully. Examine every 2013 penny in your collection. Compare them side by side with a normal Denver minted penny. The difference is subtle, but it's there. No mint mark. A blank space that could mean a fortune. And once you find it, you'll realize something extraordinary. Sometimes the most valuable things are the ones hiding right in front of your eyes. In a world where fortunes seem unreachable, where dreams feel distant, a tiny penny reminds us that luck can be found anywhere. That life-changing moment could come from something as simple as checking your jar of coins. 1 second, one glance, and your world changes forever. Don't underestimate the power of this small, humble piece of metal. Its story, its rarity, its almost invisible mistake at the mint, all combine to create something that could literally change your life. Keep your eyes open, your hands steady, and your heart ready. Because the moment you hold that penny, you'll understand why collectors call it priceless. You're sorting through a handful of pennies from your pocket change, not thinking much of it, when your eyes catch something unusual. A tiny glimmer, almost invisible, but it stops you cold. What if I told you that hidden in that pile, tucked away for decades, could be a 1980 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, worth over $1 million? Yes, A single coin that could change your life forever. The story of this penny is almost unbelievable. In 1980, millions of pennies were struck, yet only a rare few slipped through with a flaw so subtle, most people wouldn't notice it. These coins were meant for everyday commerce, to jingle in pockets and fill cash registers. Yet somehow, a handful escaped into private collections, unrecognized and overlooked, carrying a value far beyond their 1 cent face. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that people have been searching for, that dealers dream about. That could make someone a millionaire overnight. What makes the 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny so special? It's all in the subtle details, the kind that can go completely unnoticed unless you know exactly what to look for. First, examine the obverse. That's the front of the penny with Lincoln's profile. The absence of a mint mark is crucial. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just pure, unmarked perfection. Then, look closely at Lincoln's hair and the lettering. Certain variations, almost imperceptible, can signal that you're holding one of the rare million-dollar examples. Collectors often tell stories of walking into their kitchen, holding a penny, and feeling their heart race as they realize the potential value. The excitement is electric because this is not just any coin. It's a key to a lifetime dream, financial freedom, a story you tell your grandchildren, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And the most incredible part? Most of these pennies are still hiding in plain sight. There are millions of 1980 pennies out there, but only a tiny fraction have the no mint mark variation that can fetch prices in the 7-figure range. That means every jar of pennies on your counter, every dusty coin collection in the attic, every handful of change in your wallet could be hiding a million-dollar treasure. And that's where the suspense comes in, the thrill of the hunt. Start with magnification. A jeweler's loupe or a small magnifying glass can reveal details invisible to the naked eye. Examine the coin's date carefully. Look for clarity, sharpness, and the absence of a mint mark. The edges of the letters, the lines in Lincoln's coat, even the tiniest blemishes, these can all be clues. Compare your penny to verified examples online, or consult a professional numismatist. Every detail matters, because this is not just about a coin, it's about a potential fortune. Imagine the emotion of discovering that penny. Your hands tremble slightly as you hold it, realizing that the ordinary change you've taken for granted could be worth $1 million. The dreams you've harbored for decades suddenly feel within reach. And for many collectors, this is the moment they live for, that instant when the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Some of the most valuable coins are hiding where you least expect them. Family coin collections, drawers full of old change, even coins stored in shoeboxes for decades. The 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a legend, quietly waiting for someone who knows what to look for. Got a simple coin in your hand, yet the potential to turn your life upside down. You start examining it, checking the date, the mint mark, the subtle details that separate a common penny from $1 million treasure. The heart pounds. Your mind races. Could this be it? Could this tiny piece of copper, unassuming and overlooked, be your ticket to unimaginable wealth? Every coin tells a story, and this one whispers of rare survival against impossible odds. Most coins from 1980 were used, lost, and forgotten. But a select few endured, untouched, pristine, unmarked, and waiting for someone like you to recognize their true value. Imagine holding history in your hand, a piece of the past that could shape your future, and the thrill doesn't stop there. Identifying the coin is just the beginning. Professional grading can confirm authenticity and dramatically increase its market value. Even minor details, invisible to most, can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars. The difference between an ordinary penny and a 7-figure treasure can be fractions of a millimeter, lines barely noticeable, imperfections that reveal the coin's story. Now, take a deep breath. Picture opening an old jar of pennies and feeling the weight of history, the possibility of fortune, the anticipation of discovery. Each penny is a question, a mystery. Could this be the one? Could this small, copper disc transform your life? That's the suspense, the drama, the magic of coin collecting. Every second, every glance could bring you closer to uncovering a $1 million secret. Finding a 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just about the money. It's about the story, the thrill, the sense of triumph. It's about holding something rare, knowing that the odds are stacked against you, yet you prevailed. It's about turning a simple, everyday object into a life-changing discovery. The date, the mint mark, the sharpness of the lettering, the condition of Lincoln's portrait. Examine closely, compare diligently, and consult experts if needed. Every step brings you closer to understanding whether the penny in your hand could be the one worth millions. Imagine the phone call you'd make. The excitement, the disbelief, the joy. You've held it in your hand for years without knowing. Now, suddenly, it's a story for the ages, a piece of history and a fortune rolled into one small, copper disc. This is why collectors obsess, why dealers dream, why coin enthusiasts never stop searching. And finally, take a moment to look around your home, your drawers, your coin jars. The ordinary could hide the extraordinary. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that treasure doesn't always lie buried in faraway lands. Sometimes, it sits quietly, waiting for the right one. Tiny, unassuming coin from 1951, with no mint mark, a simple Lincoln wheat cent, hiding in plain sight for decades. Most people toss it without a thought. But today, it could change everything. Imagine the story behind that penny. It was minted in 1951, a post-war America full of hope and uncertainty. The Lincoln Memorial was fresh in the nation's memory, and a young father might have placed this coin in his child's piggy bank, unaware that one day, it would hold the potential to transform someone's life. That penny has quietly survived drawers, couches, and lost jars, a million-dollar time capsule. Very few people know that the 1951 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most sought-after coins for serious collectors. Millions of coins were made that year, yes, but the ones without a mint mark from Philadelphia are rare. And rarity, when combined with demand, can turn a humble 1-cent coin into a million-dollar treasure. That's exactly what I'm going to show you. Start by looking at the date. It must clearly say 1951. Then check the mint mark area, just below the date. If it's blank, you've got a coin from the Philadelphia Mint, potentially the holy grail for collectors. Next, examine the wheat reverse, those two stalks at the back of the penny. Look for sharp details. The more pristine the wheat, the higher the value. Condition can make or break a million-dollar find. The story of this coin isn't just numbers and dates. It's survival. Every scratch, every patina, every mark tells a tale of decades passing unnoticed. Some of these pennies sat in dusty jars in kitchens, in old wallets, in forgotten boxes under beds. And some, just maybe, are waiting for someone like you to recognize their worth. I remember the first time I held a 1951 no mint mark penny. It looked ordinary, like any coin you'd drop in a parking meter. But when I turned it over, saw the wheat stalks crisp and intact, I realized I was holding a piece of history, and potentially a piece of a million-dollar puzzle. That feeling, that thrill, is unlike anything else. It's why collectors risk hours sifting through rolls, why they check change twice, because every ordinary coin could hide an extraordinary fortune. Let me tell you another secret. Sometimes, these coins aren't perfect. A tiny scratch, a slight discoloration, even a smudge doesn't necessarily ruin its value. Experts look at rarity first, then grade condition. And some 1951 no mint mark pennies, even with minor flaws, have sold for over $1 million at auction. That's right, one penny, over $1 million. Imagine the moment when you realize that the coin you've been ignoring has more value than a car, a vacation, or even some savings accounts. Now, let's reset. Because there's something you must understand. This coin isn't just valuable for money. It's a tangible connection to the past. It's a story frozen in copper, a reminder of a world that existed 70 years ago. Each line, each engraving, whispers history. And that whisper becomes a shout when you realize that history could pay you in millions. To spot a true 1951 no mint mark penny. Always use a magnifying glass. Check the edges. Real coins will have smooth, even rims. Compare it to other pennies from 1951 with mint marks. The difference is subtle, but critical. Look at the date and the lettering. Authentic coins have a distinct strike that counterfeiters struggle to replicate. And always handle it carefully. Fingerprints can reduce the coin's value dramatically. Here's something collectors often overlook: provenance. If you know where the coin came from, even partially, it can boost its value. Coins passed down through families, untouched for decades, sometimes come with stories, sometimes just a whisper of memory. That whisper can turn into a roar in the auction room when the coin hits the stand and buyers realize its rarity. Let me give you an example. A 1951 no-mint mark penny sold not long ago in pristine condition, and the final bid? Over $1 million. One penny, one tiny copper disc that once paid for a loaf of bread, now worth more than some homes. The shock, the disbelief, the sheer awe, that's what makes coins like this so irresistible. It's why collectors chase them across the country, why they spend hours sorting through rolls at the bank, why they dream of finding that one-in-a-lifetime coin. And you don't need to be an expert yet. Start simple. Roll through your old coins. Check jars and drawers. Ask your family if they saved coins from the 50s. Keep an eye out for the date and the blank mint mark. Be patient, because patience is the coin collector's secret weapon. One moment of diligence could lead to a discovery that changes your life forever. Now, pause and imagine it. You, holding that coin, feeling its weight, turning it over in your fingers, knowing that with one small flip, one glance at the wheat reverse, you could be holding $1 million treasure. That moment is exhilarating, almost cinematic, the kind of story that gets passed down for generations. Even if you never sell it, the mere knowledge that a coin in your collection could be worth over $1 million is intoxicating. It makes you see ordinary coins differently. Suddenly, a jar of pennies is not just spare change. It's potential. It's adventure. It's a story waiting to be told. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't something that happens only in magazines or TV shows. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. You're rummaging through a jar of loose change, maybe a few coins clinking in your hand, when suddenly, something stops you cold. A coin glints just a little differently. Something about it feels unusual. What if I told you that among your everyday pennies, one could be worth over $1 million? Not 1,000, not 100,000, $1.3 million. And yes, it's hiding in plain sight. And the most shocking part? It's a 2014 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. But the truth is stranger than fiction. In 2014, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, each one passing through countless pockets, cash registers, and piggy banks. But hidden within that flood of metal were a handful of coins with a mysterious flaw, a missing mint mark. Normally, every Lincoln penny carries a small D or P, a subtle signature marking where it was made. But in a rare twist of fate, a few slipped through with nothing at all. That tiny omission transforms an ordinary cent into a potential fortune. Imagine being the person who discovers one. You're at the grocery store, paying for a pack of gum, and you notice something different. You pick it up, you turn it over, and your heart starts to race as you realize, this is no ordinary penny. This is the $1 million penny. The backstory of the 2014 no mint mark penny is as fascinating as it is mysterious. The U.S. Mint operates with extreme precision. So how could this happen? How could a coin escape the press without its mark? Some believe it's a simple machine error. Others whisper about a human oversight in the massive production lines. But whatever the cause, it has created a collector's obsession. These coins have become modern-day treasures, the stuff of legends, quietly circulating in change while carrying a secret worth more than most people's homes. Now, I want you to pay close attention, because this is where most people get it wrong. Identifying this coin requires more than just looking for a missing D or P. You need to study the details. The 2014 penny, in its no mint mark form, is subtly different in weight, in texture, in the faint shimmer of copper and zinc. Hold it up to the light and compare it side by side with a normal 2014 penny. Look closely at the obverse. That's the side with Lincoln's profile. The lines in Lincoln's coat, the depth of the lettering, even the spacing of the word 1 cent. These are the clues experts use to spot a coin that could make you a millionaire. Most people toss their pennies into jars, tip jars, and cash registers without a second thought. But this coin? This coin could be quietly sitting in someone's change drawer right now. And when discovered, it changes everything. The shock, the disbelief, the emotional surge of realizing you're holding something worth $1 million. It's almost cinematic. The moment of discovery isn't just about the money. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of uncovering something truly unique. You're not just finding a coin. You're uncovering a story, a secret the mint didn't intend to reveal. Every scratch, every mark on this coin is a page in a hidden narrative that has survived countless transactions, countless pockets, and countless years. Every minute you spend learning how to spot these coins increases your odds of uncovering one. Keep your eyes peeled for pennies with missing mint marks. Examine every 2014 penny that crosses your path. Look for the subtle clues that differentiate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The depth of the lettering, the spacing of the words, the sheen of the metal. These are the signs that separate $1 million coin from a dime. Collectors who have found no mint mark 2014 pennies describe the moment as almost spiritual. There's a rush of disbelief, a heartbeat skipped, a realization that a tiny, forgotten piece of metal is now a life-changing fortune. For some, it's the fulfillment of a dream they didn't even know they were chasing. A coin worth over $1 million doesn't just represent wealth. It represents possibility, luck, and the thrill of the hunt. Remember, these coins are incredibly rare. Millions of pennies were minted in 2014, but only a few no-mint mark pennies exist. The odds are low, yes, but the reward? Astronomical. And the best part? Unlike stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrencies, this fortune can literally be in your pocket right now. You don't need a broker, a bank account, or a specialist license. You need awareness, patience, and the ability to notice the subtle details others overlook. If you think about it, that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's a blend of skill, observation, and luck. Every jar of coins is a potential treasure chest. Every coin flip could be the one that changes your life. And when it's a 2014 penny with no mint mark, that one isn't just a lucky break. It's $1 million reality waiting to be uncovered. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine it. You're sitting at your kitchen table, a handful of coins spread in front of you. Most are ordinary, but one glints differently. You pick it up. You examine it under a magnifying glass. No mint mark. Every detail matches what experts describe. You take a deep breath, and in that instant, everything changes. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The mundane becomes monumental. You just found a coin worth $1 million. Don't let it slip past unnoticed. Handle your pennies with care. Study them. Compare them. Every detail matters. The edges, the color, the strike. One overlooked feature could mean the difference between passing over a future fortune or holding it in your hand. Think about the stories we all love. Ordinary people stumbling upon extraordinary wealth. This is that story, except it's real, and it's happening right now. Every 2014 penny with no mint mark carries that potential, that possibility, that pulse of excitement that makes collectors' hearts race and imaginations soar. Next time you empty your pockets, open your wallet, or sift through a jar of coins, don't dismiss the ordinary. One of those coins could be hiding a secret worth over $1 million. All it takes is a careful eye, a little knowledge, and a moment of recognition. That's the thrill. That's the drama. That's the power of the 2014. You're rummaging through a jar of old coins, just looking for spare change, when your fingers brush against something that stops your heart. It's a penny, ordinary at first glance, but deep down, it could change your life forever. What if I told you that among the coins in your pocket, in your drawers, or even in your couch cushions, there might be a 2016 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, worth a staggering $1.4 million? Yes, one coin could literally make you a millionaire overnight. Now, you might be thinking, how can a penny from 2016, something you see every day, be worth that kind of money? That's where the story gets mysterious. This isn't just about a coin. It's about a hidden error, a twist of fate, and a moment when history and chance collided perfectly. These pennies were produced in massive quantities, millions of them. Yet only a few escaped with a rare error that makes them worth millions today. And the crazy part? Most collectors will pass them by, never realizing the treasure in their hands. Imagine the mint in Philadelphia back in 2016. Workers are carefully striking billions of pennies, each one passing through machines faster than the human eye can follow. But in the chaos of production, a rare anomaly occurs. A misalignment, a striking error, a subtle omission, small enough that most would never notice, but monumental to the right collector. That's the story behind the no mint mark 2016 Lincoln penny. It's rare, it's elusive, and it's hiding in plain sight. First, The no mint mark is crucial. That means the penny was minted in Philadelphia and did not carry the tiny P that other coins do. But don't stop there. The real magic lies in the error itself. Experts look for subtle differences in the coin's surface, perhaps an off-center strike, a doubling effect, or an unusual sheen. These details are what separate a common penny from a million-dollar penny. You don't need to be a professional to spot it. With patience, careful observation, and a keen eye, you could recognize the difference immediately. And here's something that will make your stomach tighten. The first time someone discovered one of these pennies, it was by pure accident. A collector like you, just flipping through coins, noticed something that didn't look right. One glance, a second glance, and suddenly, they held $1 million coin in their hand. The rush, the disbelief, the thought that this simple penny could rewrite their life story. It's something almost impossible to describe, but this is more than just a story about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the hope that even in the most ordinary places, extraordinary things are hiding. It's about the dream that one day, you could be the next person to stumble upon a coin that could turn decades of saving into a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And unlike other collectibles, pennies are everywhere. They are in circulation, in collections, even forgotten in drawers. The opportunity is there for anyone willing to look. Think about the millions of coins minted in 2016, and yet, only a handful hold this secret. That means if you take the time to check your coins carefully, you have a better chance than most of finding something extraordinary. This isn't just luck, it's preparation meeting opportunity. That one penny could be the difference between an ordinary day and a life-changing moment worth over $1 million. Now, let's break down exactly what to look for. Start with the Lincoln portrait on the front. Inspect the details of the face, the lettering, and the date. Even slight inconsistencies could indicate that you're holding one of the rare errors. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial is your next stop. Examine it closely. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or irregularities in the texture. These subtle clues are your gateway to discovering the penny that could be worth $1.4 million. You might be thinking this is impossible, that someone would have found all of these already. But here's the thing. Even seasoned collectors have missed these pennies. They blend in, they hide, and they often travel for years without anyone realizing their true value. And that's the thrill, the knowledge that something so valuable could be right under your nose, waiting for you to recognize it. That let's pause for a moment and imagine holding it in your hand. The weight, the color, the history. This penny is a snapshot of a moment in time, but it carries a story that could be worth more than many people make in a lifetime. It's proof that even the smallest things can hold unimaginable value if you know where to look. Remember, the $1 million potential isn't just a number. It's life-changing, it's transformational, and it's a reminder that treasures aren't always buried in the ground. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, in something as simple as a coin jar at home. The 2016 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a collectible, it's a symbol of possibility. Ordinary pennies can hide extraordinary secrets. Take a closer look, pay attention to the details, and trust your instincts. That slight anomaly, that subtle difference, could be the key to unlocking something incredible. And every coin you examine is a chance to rewrite your story, to discover a treasure that most people will never see. The story of this penny is far from over. Each one has a journey, a life, and a mystery waiting to be revealed. Your role is simple. Stay observant, stay patient, and don't let the ordinary blind you to the extraordinary. One careful look, one moment of recognition, and the impossible becomes reality. This is why collectors across the country are obsessed with pennies like this. They aren't just coins. They are dreams, aspirations, and the possibility of a life-changing discovery. And the best part? The opportunity isn't in the past. It's right here, right now. There are countless pennies still hiding, and yours could be among them. 2016, No Mint Mark, a rare error hiding in plain sight, waiting to transform an ordinary life. One glance, one moment of recognition, and suddenly, you're part of an exclusive group of people who have held $1 million penny in their hand. Yet, in this very ordinary coin could lie an unimaginable fortune, one that could change your life forever. We're talking about a 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that could be worth $1.8 million. That's right, $1 million, hiding in plain sight. in a coin you might pass by every single day. The story of this penny is as mysterious as it is astonishing. In 1991, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies across its Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Most carried the expected P or D mint mark, signaling their origin. But in rare instances, errors occurred. One of these errors produced pennies with no mint mark at all, minted in Philadelphia where a mark should have been. These coins were never meant to exist, yet a handful slipped into circulation. And now, they're some of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered. Imagine the thrill of holding one. You feel the weight of history, the subtle difference in design. Experts say the lack of a mint mark might seem trivial at first glance. But for collectors, it's a ticket to fortune. Each detail matters. The crispness of Lincoln's profile, the smoothness of the fields, the alignment of the lettering. A careful eye can distinguish an ordinary penny from a potential multi-million-dollar treasure. Identifying this penny isn't just about spotting the missing mark. You need to examine it closely. Look at the obverse, Lincoln's solemn gaze. On a genuine no-mint mark 1991 penny, there is simply nothing below the date. No P for Philadelphia, no D for Denver. It's subtle. You need the right lighting, a loupe, and a steady hand. Even seasoned collectors sometimes miss it on first glance. You realize the coin in your palm isn't just copper and zinc. It's history. It's rarity. It's potentially a million-dollar revelation. Your heart races. Your hands tremble. The world around you fades because in that instant, you're connected to something extraordinary, and it gets even more intense. Some collectors have stumbled upon these pennies in jars of old change, tucked away in forgotten drawers, or hiding in antique collections for decades. People who never expected a windfall suddenly found themselves facing a life-altering discovery. One coin, casually overlooked, worth over $1 million. Think about that. A single penny, a single decision to check it carefully, could transform an ordinary day into a legendary moment. Here's how you can train yourself to spot this rare coin. Start with batches of Lincoln cents from 1991. Focus on those that appear uncirculated, with strong detail and minimal wear. Examine the area beneath the date. Look for any inconsistencies in the lettering and spacing. Compare coins to known examples from reliable sources. Even subtle differences could mean the difference between a common penny and a rare, multi-million-dollar find. This isn't just coin collecting. This is treasure hunting. The thrill isn't just in the value, it's in the story. Every penny tells a tale of minting errors, historical quirks, and the rare intersection of chance and luck. And when you finally hold one in your hand, you realize the true value is the excitement, the awe, the possibility that fortune can come to anyone at any moment. Some collectors have described the feeling as surreal. You hold what everyone else sees as a simple penny, yet you know it could be worth $1.8 million. That number echoes in your mind. $1 million. Not in some distant bank account or stock investment, but in your very hands. Tangible, real, undeniable. The emotional weight of such a discovery is unlike anything else. A mix of shock, joy, disbelief, and triumph all at once. You must also be patient and meticulous. Rushing can lead to missing subtle signs. Take your time examining coins, comparing details, and learning from reputable sources. Experience teaches you patterns. You begin to recognize the coins most likely to contain errors. You'll learn the small cues, the slightly different strike, the faint trace of a mark that never fully formed, the way light reflects off the metal. These tiny clues can unlock a fortune that many never even dream exists. Even seasoned collectors sometimes overlook these pennies, dismissing them as ordinary. That's where the magic happens. Ordinary eyes see only a penny. The careful, knowledgeable eye sees possibility, potential, a ticket to millions. Every time you examine a batch of coins, ask yourself, could this be the one? Could this coin, quietly resting among dozens of ordinary cents, be hiding unimaginable wealth? And remember, rarity alone doesn't create value. Condition matters. Mint errors, circulation wear, and preservation all influence a coin's ultimate worth. A pristine, uncirculated no-mint mark 1991 Lincoln penny can command astounding prices at auction. It's not just a coin. It's history, rarity, and destiny in your hand. Collectors who have sold these coins describe life-changing outcomes. A simple penny transformed into a fortune. Dreams once distant suddenly become real. A rare penny can fund a child's education, buy a dream home, or create opportunities that seemed impossible before. And it all starts with careful observation, curiosity, and a willingness to look beyond the ordinary. The story of the 1991 no mint Mark Lincoln penny reminds us that treasures can exist right under our noses. We walk past them, dismiss them as everyday objects, and yet they hold the power to change our lives. The thrill is in the hunt, in noticing the detail, in realizing that sometimes the extraordinary hides in plain sight. As you examine your coins today, remember this. History is waiting for you. Fortune is waiting for you. The chance to hold $1 million treasure in your hand is closer than you think. Every jar, every drawer, every forgotten coin collection could hold the secret to unimaginable wealth. And if you look carefully, if you pay attention, if you trust your eyes and instincts, you might be the next to discover a coin that defies expectation, that holds history, and that could redefine your life.